Welcome to another Slow Walker Films production. The Slow Walker has always been a firm advocate of wholesome fun and activities. That includes scouting. This is a video that features the old tortoise himself presenting a workshop of some of the concepts that scout leaders should be prepared to employ. Though oriented toward Boy Scout leaders, other youth leaders might find principles they can use in their programs as well. Go ahead and start. It's Be Prepared is the theme for our camporee, and it's also the theme for my presentation tonight. And I'm not sure how much time we have, so we'll just go as quickly as we can through this. First of all, I wanted to discuss the leader's role. Now, when we consider a scouting program, remember, this is not your program. It really isn't. Whether you're a scoutmaster, assistant scoutmaster, any type of unit leader, unit commissioner, committee chairperson, this is not your program, but you are responsible for it. So what is the leader's role? And I kind of broke it down into three different things. One is a guardian, one is a facilitator, and one is a co-participant in fun and growth. So let's go with the guardian. And to help me start off a guardian, please help me, if anybody can complete this phrase. Blank first.
Safety.
Safety first. So as a guardian, you need to worry about safety. One thing that we all know we're supposed to take as youth leaders is youth protection. How many have taken it online? Anybody? Excellent. Okay. The same night I took youth protection, I also took Safe Swim and the weather training. All in the same night. So it can be done. It takes a little while, but it's really interesting. It's kind of neat how they did the different presentations. So, in youth protection, you learn.
Oh, I thought you said.
No, anybody. No, this is not Cub Scouts. There's another Cub Scout side. This is a hint. You learn 2D leadership. Okay, so you always have to have two adults there. One of them has to be registered, and one has to be trained in your youth protection. Okay, in 2D, and there's something that also goes along with the number. What else do we teach in scouting? Number 2, you can't be by yourself. You gotta have a buddy. Okay, so the buddy system. So we're talking about how we're going to protect our youth. You got the youth protection program. You have the buddy system, and of course you get the training certification as a leader. You can get it online. A lot of that information and much more is contained in this manual. Until this week, I had an older manual that I was kind of going through, and I had to go to council and says, how am I, as far as being updated? He says, oh, you're 2 colors out, which means that the colors of the manual changed twice since the manual I had. So, as a unit leader, I would go ahead and make sure that your unit has at least possession of 1. Why? Why this particular one?
Safety first.
Safety first, and you get asked that question. Have you read the Guide to Safe Scouting? You can't read it if you don't have it. Okay. Now, how else do we protect our youth? We protect them from predators. We protect them from pedophilia. All through this youth program. How else do we protect our youth? Yes, health-wise. Okay. So, health is part of safety. You need to make sure that there are healthy conditions. Guess what? We've got a health and safety guide. Also, make sure you have that in your unit. Okay. When you go to camp, especially when you go to long-term camp, what are you supposed to have? 3 things that you're supposed to have, documentation-wise.
Medical form.
Medical form. Okay, what is a medical form anyway?
It's a doctor's
It's a form
certificate.
from the doctor's signature, right?
Okay.
I'm not a scoutmaster, so.
Oh yes, basically it's a health history of the scout or the scout leader, I should say, and the scout leader. Before the scout, I think they could take it 1 doctor's visit or 1 form was good for what, 3 years?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
Now how long is it good for? 1 year. So every year you need to get one, and it's available online. The neat thing about the online document is if you have the newest edition of Adobe Reader, you can actually fill it out, save it, and print it up whenever you need instead of having to do it over and over and over. So that's a really nice feature that they have. Okay, so you've got the health record. Why do we have the health record? Other than to make sure that he's been to the doctor, including us older scouts.
In case you have an allergy or medication.
Allergies, medications,
Any other health problems?
health
history?
problems such as
The allergy is a good one.
asthma is a really good one, which is one reason why we're not going to Volcanoes National Park this year. More than one of our troop members, I didn't want to exclude them, so we're going to Haleakala, which is still a challenge breath-wise, but not as bad as if you had sulfur and some of the other noxious fumes in
Yeah,
there.
that's good.
So you need to know that. Now, let's say something does happen. How do you respond? Let's say one of our boys falls down. Oh, here's a good one. Capture the flag at night. Boys running full speed. Guess what? There's a rock wall in total darkness. We hear a big thwack. Next thing we know is, he's down. And we're like, who's down? So what happened? He ran. One of our boys ran smack into a moss rock wall, bounced off, and went fuzzy for a while. Is that a serious injury?
Can be.
It's a serious injury. And you guys to say scouting that's classified as a serious injury. Whenever you go unconscious or hit that state, literally, yeah, it's classified, and there are certain steps that you need to take. Now, let's say he got really hurt bad, which he didn't, thank goodness. But what do we do? Who do we contact? Parents.
Emergency contact.
Oh, what was that?
Emergency person.
Okay, emergency contact. How do you know as a leader who to call?
It's on the form.
Okay, it's on the form if you bring the full form. If not, at least have the emergency contact list. And sometimes that's easier to go through the medical form and find exactly where it is. Sometimes you have, I have a form that's printed up and it's kind of bold. You've got your first contact. If mom, you can't get in touch with mom, there's a second contact, hopefully dad or grandma or something. And just a brief note on the side, what medical history that we need to be aware
Well,
of.
we keep it on the parent consent form too.
Ah, there's the third one. And I'm going to discuss the parent permission form in a little while. Where am I? So we're protecting our scouts from, first of all, outside influences. We're trying to protect them safety-wise, health. There's other concerns is if you go on high adventures, you need to worry about water supplies a lot of times. And that's all covered in your health and safety guide. Next is, who protects the unit? Does the unit need any protection?
The insurance, is that what we're talking about?
Okay, how do we protect the unit insurance-wise?
The tour permit?
Excellent, the tour permit. We need to have our tour permit whenever we go on any outing. What happens if we have a meeting that's away from our normal meeting place? Also, we need a tour permit. Okay, that's and again, parent permission form. If some boy sneaks onto the camp but he doesn't have permission to be there and he gets hurt, litigation could take place. If you got a parent permission form, you know he's there. On my parent permission forms, I also print a when, where, and what. So the parent knows, he's not just signing his son off to, he's thinking he's signing him off to an overnight marshmallow roast when actually he's going to be doing rappelling or something dangerous where he may or may not want his son to be participating in that. So make sure we let our families know what their sons are going to be doing. Okay, what's a facilitator? I hope you found this video informative and useful, and I invite you to view part 2 of this workshop for more information.